My name is Rosie Tejada, and today I am going to be introducing the idea or teaching of STEM in the elementary education classroom. And what is STEM? STEM is an acronym which means S is for science, T is for technology, E is for engineering, and M is for math. STEM is lessons that are to challenge and have students solving real-world problems. There are two types of STEM lessons. There's something called project-based learning, and there's another one called problem-based learning. Project-based lessons are usually much more easier to be done in an elementary classroom and has issues in the real world. And the students need to build a structure, which, for example, the marshmallow challenge, which I will be showing you, on how students learn through constraints and how to work critically to solve a problem. The marshmallow challenge is an example of a project-based learning lesson to do in any elementary classroom. The students are given these following materials: 20 sticks of spaghetti, 1 yard of tape, of string, 1 large marshmallow, scissors to cut materials, and yardstick to measure. Now the rules are where the constraints are. Your challenge is to build the tallest freestanding structure using only the above listed materials. So this shows that they have constraints, which is something that we all deal with in the real world. The winning team is the one that builds the tallest freestanding structure measured from the tabletop surface to the top of the marshmallow. Team structure must stand on its own for measuring. Teams touching or supporting their structure will be disqualified. Teams can use as much or as little of the 20 sticks of spaghetti, tape, and string provided. Extra materials cannot be provided. The entire marshmallow must be on top of your structure. Cutting or eating part of your marshmallow would disqualify your team. So this is just to show you that a project-based learning lesson doesn't have to take 2 or 3 days or 5 days due to lack of time constraint, but can be done in one classroom setting in one block and teaches science and engineering to those students that are not getting challenged or students that might get bored with the regular curriculum. Which I will be demonstrating with our Mission to Mars lesson for my learning objective number 2, which are also student-centered. Both lessons are student-centered. But this one has a problem that can be either a statement or a letter given to the students, and they work through a company and they have to work together as a group to solve the problem. As a teacher for both of these projects, the teacher's more as a facilitator more than the teacher itself. So the teacher teaches all information to each student and group, and when they are done showing them all the information, then the group has to find a solution to a problem. In elementary, this can be difficult, but it's very good to have STEM lessons because they can learn about the standards and also become critical thinkers. An elementary teacher might feel overwhelmed and might find it difficult to sometimes to implement these types of lessons. Some worries come from constraints, from being overwhelmed, and also the most important thing is time. And the one thing about STEM is that some teachers might get overwhelmed because they think that they have to use all 4 STEM areas. But I have great news. Science, technology, engineering, and math doesn't always have to be in one lesson. Sometimes you can just make a lesson all about science and some technology in it, and like I'm going to be showing you with the Mission to Mars lesson, everything is going to be implemented except not so much math in it. And as you notice from the marshmallow challenge, there was a lot of science and engineering, and that was done in a block. So an hour, maybe to an hour and a half of a class, instead of thinking of maybe doing it for 2 or 3 weeks, which nobody really has time to do in a classroom. Realistically, these lessons can be done and all the standards can be met for these specific lessons. The goal of STEM is to get students to become critical thinkers and ready for the 21st century challenges. I hope this video can lead to you being interested in STEM education and enjoy a problem-based learning lesson on the rock cycle. Thank you and hope you enjoy.